I am Jennifer Camille Gillis, and I am so very proud to be the superintendent of our schools. We are the Manchester School District. I get the pleasure today of being with you and running us through this morning's program. First off, welcome back. We have missed having you around the district. I've missed the noise, the chatter, the energy at our schools, and I can't wait to see what's ahead in our school year. I sure hope each of you enjoyed your summers. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to have you all back. At this time, I ask that you all rise for the performance of our national anthem by the Central High School Band. Thank you, Central. We appreciate having you with us today. And as a quick note, you're going to see another surprise as you guys leave the arena this morning. We are fortunate today to be joined by numerous elected officials and representatives of city departments, including Mayor Joyce Craig, State Senator Lou D'Alessandro, from the Board of Mayor and Aldermen at-large member June Trisciani, Ward 7 member and State Representative Mary Sullivan Heath. We have members of our Board of School Committee with us this morning. At-large member Jim O'Connell, Ward 1 member Julie Turner, Ward 3 member Karen Sewell, Ward 4 Leslie Want, Ward 5 Jason Bonilla, Ward 7 Chris Potter, and Ward 10 Gary Hamer. Somewhere in this crowd should be Chief Alan Alderberg from Manchester PD, and we have Fire Chief Ryan Cashin. We also have Public Health Director Anna Thomas and Youth Services Director Mr. Michael Quigley. We are excited to have a couple of guest speakers joining us this morning, including our very special keynote speaker, Jack Birkenmeyer. We expect that the event will wrap up just after 10, and we'll get you all back to your schools. Our first speaker this morning is a product of our Manchester schools and a mother of 3 graduates from our system. After serving as a member of the Board of School Committee and Board of Mayor and Aldermen, she was the very first woman elected mayor of the city of Manchester. Please welcome Mayor Joyce Craig.
Morning. Thank you, Dr. Gillis. And I just want to start by giving a round of applause for the Central Band. You rocked it. Thank you. Great way to start the day. And I just want to recognize Mr. Doyle for leading them. You know, it is such a pleasure to welcome our administrators, our students, and our hard-working educators today. I'm so happy to be with all of you to kick off this new school year. You know, there are 4 generations of my family who are graduates of the Manchester Public Schools. My grandmother, my father, and all of our kids graduated from Central. And my husband and I graduated from Memorial. So there's a little competition when we all get together. But I can tell you, we all have such fond memories of teachers who helped us along the way. As educators, you have a tremendous impact on families like mine and thousands of others across our city. And we're grateful for your unwavering commitment to educating and empowering students, instilling a love of reading, expanding interest in the arts, fostering collaboration, and so much more. I believe in our public schools, and I've seen firsthand how hard all of you work, sometimes with limited resources, to ensure that our students are not only learning, but are fed, clothed, cared for, and loved. You do amazing work every day. Thank you. It's clear to each and every one of us that you care so deeply for your students. And while at times they may challenge you, please know that your students, their parents, and the entire Manchester community believes in you, is behind you, and appreciates you. So while this is the first day back to school for all of you, it's the last first day welcome for me. And I have to admit, it's bittersweet. I first got involved in public service many years ago because I wanted to help strengthen our public schools, and it's still what drives me today. Critical to the success of our schools is having great teachers like all of you. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for choosing to be in the Manchester School District. We are so lucky to have you. Have a great year.
Well, Andrew, I'm definitely getting my steps in this morning. Thank you, Mayor Craig, for being here, for your tireless and ongoing support of our schools. I have been looking incredibly forward to today. My excitement is in part because this event is one time we get to come together in one place, and this would not be possible without the support of the team at the SNHU Arena. We are so thankful to you for allowing us this time and space to be together as the Manchester School District. I want to remind you, we are the largest school district in the state of New Hampshire. Our staff numbers more than 2,000. We serve more than 12,000 students. As a school staff, we have the awesome responsibility of ensuring our students are prepared to succeed in college, career, service, and life. We get the opportunities every single day to be that trusted adult who lends a hand, a teacher who helps a student reach that aha moment, a paraprofessional who supports their students as they navigate their day, an administrator who unlocks the potential of a staff member, a district team member who strives to provide systems of excellence as a member of our team, the food services crew who takes that extra moment to make sure a student has all of their items for either their breakfast or lunch, because at the bottom of it all, they know a healthy meal matters. While we get these amazing moments, I also want to remind you we are not alone. Our district is supported by a very strong network of city departments and partner organizations, many of whom are with us today. I will say, over the years, and in particular during COVID, this team of dedicated city leaders came together to collaborate with us in a manner that allowed us to navigate unprecedented times. These moments very much captured who we are as a city. These moments very much showed me that we are better together. I will be forever indebted to the partnerships we forged and strengthened during that time. If you are here from a city department, can you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for all you do. You guys can be seated. If you are here from a community partner organization, please pop up and be recognized. Thank you to all of you as well. I want to pay special attention to one member of our community partnerships team, Manchester Proud. You have been steadfast in support of our district. I want to pop 2 quick dates in your memory. First, August 21st, we will have our second annual State of the Manchester School District, followed by Celebrate Ed on August 23rd. I encourage you, if you have not attended Celebrate Ed yet, get out there and go. September. Just as I did last year, I wanted to call attention to all of these people to remind us, we are not in this alone. We support each other so we can provide the best for our students. I also want to take a moment to introduce our district leadership team who are seated right to my right. I want all of you to have faces to names, and I want you to know they are here for you. We want you to have a great year, and our team knows it is our responsibility, it is our duty to make sure you have everything you need to succeed. First up, Mr. Forrest Ransdell, the Assistant Superintendent for Operations. Ms. Karen DeFrancis, Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Stephen Cross, Information and Cybersecurity Officer. Ms. Katie Cox-Pelletier, Chief Legal and Policy Officer. Ms. Nicole Doherty, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning. Ms. Selena Malora, Chief Student Services and Wellness Officer. Ms. Wendy Perrin, Executive Director of English Language Learner Instruction. Ms. Tina Philibot, Chief Equity Officer. Mr. Andrew Tolan, Chief of Staff. Dr. Erin Murphy, Network Director. And Dr. Scott Young, our second Network Director. When you leave here today, please remember this team is focused on supporting you as we work to drive learning forward. As a team, we seek to empower and equip each of you so you are positioned to help us move student learning forward to maximize their opportunities. We have made some great progress over the last years, despite the hurdles placed in front of us by a global pandemic. I want to take this opportunity to share just a handful of points of pride we have actualized. We have reoriented to the Community Build Strategic Plan. This plan is the driver behind our district and department goals. You'll also see it filter in your school ABC goals. Just a reminder, ABC, attendance, behavior, and core academics. Please make sure you're reviewing these guiding documents and understand how your work will interact and impact the succession of your ABC plans at school. We have rolled out a vertically aligned curriculum and added professional development to further enhance your use and rollout of these programs. We have received a number of grants from both local and federal levels. I am incredibly proud of each grant we have secured, from congressional spending grants to a community schools planning. Our work to braid grant funding is further positioning us to be competitive. This level of competitiveness was realized with an award of a SAMHSA grant in the amount of $7.68 million for our work on MTSS. A quick note just to thank each and every team who supports this grant work. Our Teacher of the Year nominees, and our nominee who has advanced to be one of 4 teachers as the 4 finalists in the state. I am so proud of your accomplishments. However, I am equally proud of each and every one of you. You show up on a daily basis. You take the time to go above and beyond. You make the difference in the life of a child. We have celebrated student achievement and lifted up student voice. A tremendous example of that is our West Rising High School senior, Mackenzie Verdner. Mackenzie is deeply active in her school community and was recognized this summer as a National Gear Up Student of the Year. Mackenzie secured this win out of 500,000 Gear Up students. I'm going to just stress that one more time. Mackenzie won this out of 500,000 other people running for the award. Mackenzie, we are incredibly proud of you and can't wait to see what you will accomplish next. I'm happy to share that we have continued to move forward in our long-term facilities planning project. This past Monday, we took yet another large step forward by securing BOSS support of our Priority 1 activities. We are joined this morning by members of SMMA. Could the two of you please stand? SMMA has demonstrated they are invested in the success of our district, not only from a facilities perspective, but also an educational programming perspective. And while we are looking forward while we are looking to move forward in the process of closing a school, I have to say the team at Wilson has shown grit and determination on behalf of their students. Your steadfast support gave me the clear reminder that the time is now for us to continue to move. You remind me that we move on behalf of our students. Looking out at all of you, just like I had the opportunity to look at our graduates just a few months ago in this very same building on this very same stage, I have so much hope and optimism for our future. I will admit that it's not always easy to look on the bright side. Our work can be a heavy load at times, but remember that being hopeful, being optimistic are choices that you get to make. With all of you, our city leaders, our partners, this district is going places. We are moving forward, and I think there's a lot to feel good about. I shared with our principals and district leadership last week, our time is now. We are moving away from the days when people would say, oh, that's just Manchester. We are now at a place where people are stopping, looking, recognizing, and saying, hey, did you see what Manchester just did? I want all of you to recognize that power that we have in our state. So as you head back to your schools and start the year, I'd like you to keep a few things in the front of your mind. First, stay connected, and don't be afraid to ask for assistance when you need it. Ask thoughtful questions, and always assume positive intentions. Remember to take care of yourself and look out for others. I know, we know, a healthy, thriving staff equals healthy, thriving students. And after all, that is what we are all here for. And finally, please remember, you have that awesome opportunity to lead learning this year. Please, be that person who sparks a future career path for a student, who takes that extra moment to make sure a student has what they need to have a successful day, who helps a student struggling with the concept to finally grasp the work. Be that trusted adult who nudges a student to take risks with their learning. I so firmly believe in the power of public education, and as such, I believe in every single one of you. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today's event, who, not at all by coincidence, will touch on the topic of optimism. Jack Birkenheimer is a nationally recognized presenter, author, and humorist, who began his career as a middle school teacher in Denver, Colorado. Our middle school administrators, let's try to take the stage quick. Our middle school admin teams had the opportunity to see Jack present at a New England League of Middle Schools conference this past spring. And they asked very kindly, can we get him back into Manchester? So Jack, welcome to our city, and the stage is yours.
Didn't mean to scream at you. Yeah, and I'll turn that on. Hold that for me, would you please? Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. We got things to do here. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, that'll be fun. Awesome. I think we got it. All right. Hi, everybody. Could you all do me a favor real quick? Could you turn to somebody and say, hey, you look great? Just turn to somebody right now and just say, hey, you look great. Oh. Could you do me a favor now and turn to somebody else and say, wait, you look better. Turn to somebody else and say, you look better. Yeah. And then, if any of you are like me, just raise your hand, stand up, point to a colleague. How many of you are just a hot damn mess? Who's a hot mess? Oh. My goodness gracious. People are so tense nowadays, yes or no? Who would agree with me? People are very, very tense. Like, I'm afraid to tell someone, have a nice day, because they're gonna say to me, don't tell me what kind of day to have. So I am here to tell you I have good news. Anybody here need good news? Anybody need good news? Need some good news? I am not gonna talk about high stakes testing stuff today. I am not gonna talk about a single state or federal mandate today. And guess what? I don't have a PowerPoint. I lied, I do. Would you like to see it? Some of you will get that joke on the drive home. Anyway, I am from Denver, Colorado. That is home for me, yes. Thank you. Where Rocky Mountain High takes on a whole new meaning. You know what I'm saying, yeah. Some of our kids are stoned, walking around looking for Pokemon. Anyway, I was a teacher that got a job in the middle of the school year. Anybody here get a job in the middle of the school year? Ask a lot of questions why there's a job opening in the middle of the school year, especially at a middle school. I remember I turned to the principal and I said, why is there a job opening in the middle of the school year? And he was like, let's tour the school. And I was interviewed by a team of people. How many of you had a team of people here with you that interviewed you? Oh yeah, the principal was there, the assistant principal was there, the guidance counselor was there in case I had a nervous breakdown or something. And you have to understand, when I get excited, spit comes out of my mouth. And so those of you in the front row may have to shield up at any moment. And sure enough, right in the middle of the interview, I got excited. And this big old wad of spit came out and landed in the center of the table. Well, you know what happened? Everybody started looking at the spit. And I was like, no, it's about me, not the spit. So I did good teaching technique, which is divert attention. So I put my hand over this piece of spit. And then I got excited. And I moved my hand down and I smeared the spit down the center of the table. And the point is I got the job, and that's all that matters. And that's when my principal came to me. And by the way, I want to honor people here today. So if you are a principal, assistant principal, or dean of students, would you please stand up and let's give them a big round of applause for our principals, assistant principals. I love it. The people that clap the loudest don't want your job. They're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Listen to me carefully, teachers. If your principal ever uses unique in a sentence, ask a lot of questions. And let me tell you why. My principal came to me and he said, hey, Birkmeyer, I have some good news and I have some bad news. And I said, well, I'm an optimist, so what is the good news? And he said, well, you're going to be teaching 6th grade language arts and social studies, which is cool because that's what I'm certified to teach. And he said you get your own classroom. Now you have to understand, I taught in a large urban school district. We were overcrowded. We had teachers on a cart. Anybody been a teacher on a cart? Yeah. You have a little sign that says, we'll teach for classroom. You just walk around. And they tell you it's a perk because you don't have to do those dang bulletin boards. But see, you then have to share the room with another teacher. Teachers, are we the most territorial people on the face of the earth, yes or no? How many of you have been parking in the same parking spot for 5 years or more? Yeah. Remember the good old days when we would have substitute teachers? Do you remember those good old days? Yeah, now we're like, she's got an oxygen tank, wheel her in, it's fine. Come on, come on. What kind of misdemeanor? We can talk about it. We can talk about it. It's desperate. So anyway, I said, okay, cool. I said, well, what's the bad news? And he said, well, every 6th grade teacher at Scott Carpenter Middle School, where I taught, has to teach an elective or an exploratory. Now, first of all, I have a dream. And how many of you think it's imperative every human being has a dream, yes or no? Who's with me on this? Every human being needs a dream, right? Teachers, what's ours? Powerball, Mega Millions. That's it. Yeah. I have a bigger dream than that. Get this. I want to be, get this, I want to be ruler of education. Not Secretary of Education, they have no power. I want to be ruler of education. I said this recently. This lady, she raised her hand. She goes, I'd vote for you. And I said, sugar, you don't get it. When I'm ruler, you don't vote. So anyway, I want to have edicts, and the first edict is this. I don't like the word elective. I like the word essential, because I think that it's essential that kids take art, band, PE, music, choir. Yeah. It enriches their lives and makes them better human beings, yes or no? And so he was like, fine, simmer down, we'll call them essentials. And I said, well, what is my elective or essentials class? And he said, get this, 8th grade language arts. I said, since when is 8th grade language arts an elective? And he said, they're a unique group of kids. You know where this is going, don't you? Yeah. I said, what do you mean? He goes, half of them are gifted and talented. I said, cool. He said, yeah, but the other half have criminal records. You guys, that half year I teach in 8th grade, I didn't know who was gifted and who was a criminal. I had no idea. And here's the deal. Where are my 8th and 9th grade teachers? Would you please stand up, 8th and 9th grade teachers, and give them a huge round of applause for all of our 8th and 9th grade teachers? Oh. How many of you have ever seen an 8th or 9th grade teacher snap for no reason whatsoever? And it usually involves dragging a kid to the office, and it looks like this, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna kill him. And of course the kid's behind going, this is so cool, man. Not only do I get out of class, but I go to the place where the air conditioning really works. Have you ever noticed that every 7th grade teacher repeat themselves at least twice. The only people that laugh at that joke are 7th grade teachers. Do you know why? Because they get the joke the second time I tell it. Watch carefully, 7th grade teachers stand up. Now 7th grade teachers stand up. Here they go. Come on, 7th grade, stand up. Yeah. Excuse me, ma'am, right there, that's right there with the bun in the hair. Do you ever go home at night and say, I said take out the trash, Here's why. You walk up to any, you can sit down now, it's all over. Yep. You go home, you ask any 7th grader a question, what's the first thing they say to you? Huh, very good, very nice, yeah. And then where are my people, the 5th and 6th grade teachers? I know you already want to stand up, so go ahead and stand up. All of our 5th and 6th grade teachers. Oh. Have you ever noticed that 5th and 6th graders are a lot like pigeons? They just kind of walk around like this. They got to touch everybody as they go, you know? You ever seen them do the smack and run, and they just smack somebody and they run like this, you know? You can move thousands of 5th and 6th graders with Skittles and M&Ms. Just throw them out and they'll follow you to the ends of the earth. So let's see. So after teaching 8th grade language arts as my elective or essentials class, I was able to teach my favorite class in the whole wide world, 6th grade health and PE. Now, I know. Now look, okay, first of all, let's acknowledge where are all of our PE teachers. Stand up, all of our PE teachers. Give them a huge round of applause, PE and health. Sir, could you remain standing, sir, right there on the end, right there, sir. Yeah, stand up, sir. Not you, not you, the other guy. No. Sir, you're gonna love this. When I am ruler of education, anyone that teaches health or PE should be able to retire 5 years early. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know why, sir? Because of the toxic fumes you've had to absorb. You ever notice we bring the kids into the gym or the gymnasiatorium? And then we have children sit in rows. And then we ask them to do sit-ups. Come on. Up one. See, and we're mean people because we have another child hold the ankles of another kid. Hey, Billy, I hear you're giving your math teacher a hard time. Come over here and hold Stinky McFarlane's ankles. Yep. So we did fun things in PE, right? We did fun things in PE because the other classes did the president's fitness test. Not me. We did fun things, right? Like we did butt scooters. Who remembers butt scooters? Do you guys remember? Yeah, kids would be like, and all of a sudden you'd hear, oh. And that's when I found the miracle cure of school, ice. Ice cures everything in a school, yes or no? Mr. Berkmeyer, it hurts, it hurts. Go get some ice, go get some ice. My favorite are 10th, 11th, and 12th grade girls. Aren't they the best creatures on the face of the earth? They are totally the best creatures on the face. They're like, Mr. Berkmeyer, I got horrible cramps, horrible cramps. Get some ice? I don't know, I don't know. By the way, where's our 10th, 11th, and 12th grade teacher? Stand up if you're a 10th or 11th or 12th grade teacher. Oh. All right, so back to PE, right? So there we are. We're not doing the president's fitness test until guess what happens? The other kids start to win the awards, right? So my 6th graders are like, Mr. Berkmeyer, how come, what's that? I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. Mr. Berkmeyer, how come we don't win the awards? How come? Well, I thought you guys would want to play. Well, we want to win the awards. Fine, we're gonna have to cheat. So, instead of running a mile, my kids ran a 1/4 mile. We multiplied it times 4 and counted it as an interdisciplinary unit for math. Yeah. So then I was able to teach health. By the way, are there health teachers or did they stand up with the PE teachers? I can't remember. If you're a health teacher, stand up. Yeah. Yeah. Now, in the great state of Colorado, 6th grade health is all about sex education. And those kids taught me a lot. I'd be like, no way, and the kids are like, way, you know. And so the guy that basically had taught health before me, he had said, Berkmeyer, I ordered your lungs. And I said, what? And he said, I ordered your sheep lungs. How many of you have ever seen sheep lungs? Raise your hand. They're huge for such a small animal, am I right? So he comes in, he sets down this slab of sheep lungs, and I said, what am I supposed to do with that? And he said, blow them up. And I said, with what? And he hands me a straw. And I go, what am I supposed to do? He said, you put the straw in here, and you go, so I put the straw in there, and I went, so I'm thinking, way cool, kids are gonna love this. I go in next period, and I go, students, gather forth. Knowledge is coming. They just kind of sat there. And so I put the straw in, and then guess what happened? I thought I was at a college fraternity party. I don't know why I pointed at you, sir, but I did. So anyway, I know. Because the kids were like this, go, 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 go. And I was over there going, and the lungs were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the grace of God, I moved my face in the nick of time because everything from the inside of the lungs came out through the straw and went on the side of my head. Now, there are things you should learn from me and things you should not. Lean in, because I'm gonna gossip. Everybody lean in, here you go. Lean in, here you go. Just bend forward, it's not that hard. It's like Zoom, remember? All right, here we go. You ready for this? You show no fear in front of children, ever. Yes or no? You show no fear in front of children. So I was like this, I was like, ooh, ooh. Nope, just wanted y'all to see what was on the inside of the lungs. And yeah, there's a rubric. You have a rubric? I love that joke. All right, let's see. Oh, so I didn't have all the real PE kids, by the way. I had all the band, orchestra, and choir kids. And they would rotate all the time, and I would forget their names. How many of you have ever forgotten a child's name? Be honest. Yeah, try this. Next time you forget a kid's name, you go, hey, Sparky, go get the lights. And some kid will go, crap, that's me. And they run over and they get the lights. Where's band, orchestra, and choir? Stand up, band, orchestra, and choir. Give them a huge round of applause. Again, when I am ruler of education, anyone that teaches band, orchestra, or choir should be able to drink liquor at any point in time in the day. Why? Because tuning up is the most painful experience. You ever go by the music room and all you ever hear is and they think this works with children. Oh my gosh, where are my art teachers? I love art teachers. Stand up if you're an art teacher. Oh. How many of you have ever worked with an art teacher that does this for no apparent reason? Woo. Do you know why? It's all the epoxies they're sniffing in the course of a day. You ever gone into the art room and you come out going, peace, love, happiness? And don't lie, I know what it's like for the rest of you. You're having a bad day, a really bad day. You're having a really bad day and you have a dry erase board. How many of you have the dry erase board? You're having a bad day. Ah, crap, it's 8th period. Bernice is here. It's a blueberry raspberry day. Who here sniffed markers? Be honest. Some of you are liars. You're lying right now. Anybody bring one in their purse in case I was boring? Yeah, let's see. Oh, don't you think the loudest applause for this next group? All of our special ed teachers and paraprofessionals. Please stand up. I have no jokes for them. They're very tense people. They're very tense. Several of them over there have already written an IEP, 504, C3PO, R2D2, STD, whatever it is. There's a lot of going on there, yeah. And then, let's see, where are our school counselors? Stand up if you're a school counselor. Give them a huge round of applause. Let's be honest, you know, how many of you are like me? I could not be a school counselor. Anybody with me on this? Typical problem, right? Typical, Mr. Berkmeyer, I'm having a really bad day. I'm having a really, really bad day, Mr. Berkmeyer. All my friends, they said I had a fat butt. Mr. Berkmeyer, do I have a fat butt? And can I go to the guidance counselor with me? And can I take 8 of my friends with me too? You're like, you got a problem? I got a mortgage. It's like, so, you know, yeah. Let's see. Any other groups I might have forgotten, because we'll take a break or something and you'll come up to me and you go, you didn't say anything about so-and-so. Oh yeah, see, the elementary people are very bitter right now. And so, simmer down, they're like, he didn't say anything about us. I'll get a Kleenex out of my sleeve. Now, I got a whole shtick on you in about 2 minutes. Simmer down. Yeah. Oh my gosh, EL teachers, stand up, all of our EL teachers. That's awesome. Yes. My goodness. And somebody else shouted out something else. Oh, where's our preschool teachers? Where are you, preschool? Oh, I love it. Notice, they move in packs and herds for their protection. Where's our media specialist people at media? Where's our media? Oh. Do you remember the good old days when, you know, we had those big TVs on a VCR and a cart? Do you remember those? And if you didn't like a teacher, you gave them the bad TV and VCR. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Well, if I forgot anybody, did I forget somebody? Say it again for me. World languages. Where's our world languages teachers? Look at them right here. Well, again, I apologize if I forgot any groups, but here's the deal. I'm in my 32nd year of education, and I'm here to speak my truths. I'm just here to talk about what I still believe that's the greatness of education. And I do believe we are at a teacher crisis in this country, yes or no. We truly are at a crisis. And we are seeing people not want to go into this profession, and it's become tougher and tougher, and our kids have become tougher. But I will tell you this, and I will preach this as long as I continue to do this. You better be committed to the age group you teach, yes or no. You better be committed to the age group you teach. You better choose to be whoever you're in front of, you better choose that's where you want to be, because if not, who will weed you out? Our kids. No lie, we went through 8 eighth grade algebra teachers in 1 year at Scott Carpenter Middle School. We had one lady, she didn't make it to second period. She came in, she was like, these kids are out of control. I mean, she was committed, just... What's that? Do I have a medal in my armpit? I don't know. Oh, yeah, you better be committed to this age group. And here's what that means. You better know the fads, the fashions, the trends, and the slang of our children, yes or no? You better know the fads, the fashions, the trends, and the slang. You don't believe me? How many of you have been called a word and you don't know if it's appropriate or not? You try to be cool and you're like, word. Word to your mother. Can we be honest with each other? It gets harder to understand our clientele as we get, no, we don't get older. We get more seasoned, yeah. And by the looks of it, a couple crock pots are done. But the point is, I'm sorry, that's my favorite joke, because in 2 months, you're gonna walk by somebody and go, ooh, crock pot done. You know, just like, So in the great state of Colorado, I'm actually certified K through 9. So I have an elementary degree and a middle school degree. So where do you think I had to student teach? I had to student teach in middle school, and I had to student teach where? In elementary. Elementary teachers, I love you. You're the most unique people on the face of the earth. I just can't be you. Anybody with me on this? I just cannot be an elementary teacher. I went to Stetson Elementary School, where I was the only male teacher they had ever had. And I was the only student teacher they had ever had. The teachers met me the first day in the parking lot with a goodie basket. It had a t-shirt, it was a medium. It's the best looking tube top I owned. And the teachers were like, Jack, welcome to Stetson Elementary School where learning comes first. Hallelujah, I thought learning would be fifth, I really did. Which reminds me, when I am ruler of education, no more stupid slogans in education. And I have to tell you, thank you, yeah, I have to tell you, the Department of Education in Ohio is one of the worst. They actually give out banners to their schools that say, excellent with distinction. La-di-da, look at that. What about the school that's not doing so well? What banner do they get? Marginal but hopeful? So there I was, and they were like, Jack, we want you to see the kids outside of the normal spectrum of the classroom. I said, what do you want me to do? And they're like, lunch duty, recess. And I was like, fine. So sure enough, first day of recess, it goes down just like this. A little third grader comes over. And by the way, that was the kid, not me. I just need to preface. And I'm like, breathe in, breathe out, because you got to get low when you talk to him. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, Johnny had 4 more minutes of tetherball. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Not that close, not that close. Remember, Mr. Brookmeyer has an invisible hula hoop. That's right. He sang a song about it. My space, your space, never invade my space. Now turn yourself around and get away from me. Oh, no, no, no. It gets worse. It gets worse. He goes, you don't like me. And I go, no, I don't. I felt horrible. It was the first time in a relationship I was honest. It's me, not you. And part of it is if you're a male elementary certified teacher, they make you paranoid in college. They're like, don't let the kids sit on your lap. And I was like, well, hello, Captain Obvious. But then when you go to an elementary, you really do know what they mean. I spent 9 weeks of student teaching like this. No, 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 no. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. You go to the board. You go to the board. You're writing. You're like, get out of there. Get out of there. I went to a kindergarten class and 2 kids sat on the tops of my shoes. They tushy buffed my shoes. The shine was perfect, but the point is, It's not my calling. Would you please stand up if you're an elementary teacher and give them a huge round of applause? Here's the deal. You can learn a lot if you go to a K-8 building. You learn a lot about education when you go to a K-8 building. Anyone ever taught in a K-8 building? And by the way, I meant to point this out and I forgot. Are there any male elementary certified teachers in the house? Any male elementary certified teachers? Stand up. Yeah, we need you. Yeah. And so I was working at a K-8 school doing professional development with the staff, 1 day with the entire staff, and then 2 days doing follow-up, just doing classroom observations, offering things that I would see or things to tweak, nothing threatening. Well, where do you think I started first? 8th, 7th, and 6th, because that's where I feel what? Most comfortable. And sure enough, 2 hours before it was time to go to the airport, I was like, I can do this, I can do this. I can go to kindergarten, I can go to kindergarten. And so I'd pump myself up, walk down that hallway, turn left to go down the corridor of the kindergarten wing, and immediately the aroma changed. It smelled like graham crackers and revenge. And I walked into that classroom, and there sat that kindergarten teacher on a white puffy cloud of a chair like she was ascending into the heavens. And there sat all of her students on the carpet of love and acceptance. Which just happened to be a map of the United States. It's called ironic. There they are. And that teacher, she sat there and she goes, my learners, in a few minutes, our buddies are gonna come. As soon as she says buddies, every kindergartner leapt to their feet. And the kids are like, buddies are coming, buddies, buddies, buddies. I'm backing up, I'm freaking out, wishing I had a taser. I had no idea what was going on. I turned to the lady next to me and I said, what's going on? And she said, oh, the 8th graders are coming to work with the kindergartners. Isn't that worthy of an awe? So that teacher, she didn't skip a beat. She sat on that white puffy cloud of a chair like she was ascending into the heavens, and she goes, my learners, our buddies won't come unless you're on the carpet of love and acceptance. And the kids are like, oh, okay, oh my God, oh my God. So they come and they sit down, right? And she goes, our buddies are gonna teach us something today. Every hand goes up. And the teacher goes, you don't know what it is, so put down your hand. And the kids are like, okay. She goes, our buddies are going to teach us about Martin Luther King. Do any of you know anything about Martin Luther King? Well, what do you think happened? It's a frenzy now, right? This kid stands up and he goes, my dad and I drove on his street. That kindergarten teacher, she didn't skip a beat. Here's what she goes, I love your thinking. You're right, there are streets named after Martin Luther King. Well, now it's a frenzy, yes or no? And so kids are popping up like popcorn. This one kid pops up and he goes, well, he's the reason everyone can ride a bus. That teacher, she goes, oh, I love your thinking, but you're thinking of someone else, and here's who you're thinking about. And then all of a sudden, this adorable African-American boy stands up and he says this, well, he's the reason I can come to this school. I'm like, oh my God, just breathe. Because 12 seconds later, a little white Bonnie Bowhead stands up and she goes, I'm white and you're brown and you're my friend. And if you didn't come to this school, I would be sad. Oh my God, I am so distraught that a snot bubble came out of my nose. You suck it up, where's it go? I don't know. But I had to physically leave the room. Who's with me? I had to physically leave the room. Because how many of you are like me? How did they go from the carpet of love and acceptance to 8th and 9th grade? Where we are tempted to roll them up in the carpet of love and acceptance. You know, we really are in a unique situation right now. And what we find is that school changes so quickly for our kids, especially if you look at pre-K, kindergarten, first, second grade. Every single pre-K, kindergarten, first, second grade class starts the same. That teacher walks in, and that teacher goes, "Good morning," and all the kids go, "Good morning," and then that teacher goes, "Who's got a pencil?" And the kids go, "Ah!" Who would agree we are overcomplicating education, yes or no? Build good relationships, teach a great lesson, and you know what else? Have some fun. I think our kids are wanting that, and how many of you as teachers are wanting? Look at this lady over here, she's rehearsing the song. Look at her. Ma'am, it's not a real song, I just made it up. She's gonna Google it here in a minute. Yeah. We need to laugh again, we need to play again, and I don't care what your role is in education. I want you right now to just turn to someone that you find as mutually as attractive as you are. This poor guy's working alone. Look at him. He's like, "I'm working alone." And just share with somebody quickly, please, what are you doing to bring back some fun this year? No matter what your role is, no matter what your job is, what are you doing to bring back some fun into education? Again, share that, please. Dr. Debbie Silver, and we wrote a book called Deliberate Optimism, Reclaiming the Joy in Education. Isn't it sad that somebody even needs to write a book about deliberate optimism, reclaiming the joy in education? How many of you are like me, though? You feel some of that joy being taken away from us as educators, yes or no? We feel. And I'll never forget, the publishers hated the title. They're like, "We don't want deliberate optimism." And I said, you know what? In order to be in public education right now, you better be deliberate in your optimism, yes or no, because it is being sucked away from us left and right from people that have no clue of what we do on a daily basis, yes or no. And I struggled with writing the book. This is me writing my portion of the book. I hate this book, I hate every part of this book. And it was on optimism. Because you know why? I wanted to give you one answer that can give you optimism. And here's what happened when I was thinking about this book. There's a huge difference between joy and optimism, yes or no? Yeah. Joy happens in seconds, in moments. Joy happens at any time, any place. Joy can happen at Starbucks, yes or no? Joy can happen at Target, yes or no? How many of you have your own grandchildren? Raise your hand. When you give that kid back, that's joy. That is joy. Joy happens in a classroom. It happens as we see a kid understand something. Joy happens. Optimism is hard to get to, yes or no? Yep. And so the problem I had was, where do you get that optimism? And so I put on my education hat. And the first part of that is I thought, did I ever get optimism from my superintendent? And the answer to that is yes. I worked for a great superintendent. He was awesome. He was great. She's over here, so I'm looking at her now. It's not because we're done. It's just that's my cue to bring her over. So everybody's looking at me like, is she giving him the hook? Anyway, here's the thing. How many of you have been blessed to work with a great superintendent in your career, yes or no? That really is trying and doing the best they can. But yet, I also worked for a superintendent that didn't necessarily bring us joy and optimism. And then I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. How many of you have been able to work with a principal in your life that has given you hope, makes you feel good as a teacher, does things for you, respects you? Well, wait. I once had a principal that didn't believe in the middle school concept. How do you think we got along, you know? Don't expect principals or superintendents to be our optimistic persons in charge and in chief. Here's the other. How many of you have been able to work with some fantastic educators in your career that have made you better? Well, wait a minute. How many of you have ever had a teacher go, I'm going to another school, and you're like, ding dong, like literally. How many of you literally, I'm going to another school. Martha, get some boxes. We're going to pack them up. Let's be truthful. How many of you can stand next to a teacher that will suck the life out of you, yes or no? There are teachers that if you gave them a $20 bill, they would say, can I have 2 10s? Never happy, never satisfied, never grateful. So then I thought to myself, wait a minute. How many of you are like me, have taught some amazing children in our career? Wait a minute. I once had a kid draw a picture of me with a knife in my head. You know? See, the problem is I had the wrong hat on. My joy came from school. Who would agree with me on that? My joy came from school, came from Miss Yellico, Miss Cervantes, Miss Frompart, my 8th grade teachers. My optimism actually came from my 98-year-old dad, who passed away about 1.5 years ago. My dad lived a great life. He lived an amazing life. He needed no help, no support, nothing towards the end of his life. He would swim, literally, in 2 weeks, 1 mile. He was somewhere in the Atlantic, we couldn't find him. My dad grew up in upstate New York in true poverty, in the Depression. They had no money. At the age of 7, my dad sold sandwiches outside of a coal mine to get money for the family. At the age of 10, he set up bowling pins to get money for the family. And when my dad was 17 years old, he lied and he joined the U.S. Navy, where he fought in World War II and served for 20 years. My dad is the epitome of the generation of Abraham. And the only thing my dad ever wanted to do was to raise a good, caring, loving family, because he did not have that. Not that his parents didn't care for him, they just had no time for that love and that support that many of us get now. And here's where you are shocked. Everyone show me your favorite shocked face. Show me shocked, would you please? A lot of you, that's appalled. That wasn't shocked. I'm the most stable person in my family. It is so sad. God love my mom. She died 10 years ago. She smoked those Pall Mall, drank that Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. You know, probably during conception. It's a miracle that was brain cell. She drank way too much. We never talked about it. My fault, my burden. My fault, my burden. And my older brother dropped out of college his senior year so he could tour the country in his van. She's still doing it in Colorado. It's legal. He's fine. And my middle brother has spent most of his life in and out of prison. When I was 13, they sentenced my brother to 16 years in jail. My dad, being that good, proud German man, said, "You're my only hope of raising a good son." That's not a lot of pressure if you're the youngest. You know this if you're the youngest. Because the youngest, we see the faults of our family, yes, sir. And please know, I was not a perfect child. In fact, I'm a non-academic student. My school counselor wept when she gave me my ACT score. She goes, "It's not high enough to go to college." And she knew I wanted to be a teacher. I consoled her. I said, "I'm working at Target, it's fine." And then she said to me, "But there is a loophole. If you go to the community college for a year, then you can go to the university." And so I went into community college, ended up at the University of Northern Colorado, and I failed so bad. I failed my first semester so bad. Everyone pick a GPA. Go lower. And I had to do the hardest thing ever, and that is call my dad. And I said, "Dad, I just don't think I'm college material." And my dad said, "Jack Charles, You have wanted to be a teacher since 8th grade, so that means you have to work hard, stop being so funny, and actually take school serious. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I got through that semester. My dad wrote me a letter every single week. And in that letter was $5, which was the incentive to open the letter. But my dad ended every single letter the same way. I love you. I am proud of you. That builds optimism. There are children that will come to our classrooms that have never heard those words spoken. There might even be teachers in this room that never heard it from your own parents. My dad wrote those letters until he was 85 years old. I have 1,242 letters in shoe boxes that all end the same way. Love you. Proud of you. That builds optimism, yes or no? And here's the truth, teachers. We may not be able to bring optimism to every single child in our building or in our classroom, but we can sure bring them joy, yes or no? We can bring them some laughter. We can bring them some fun. And we do that by doing that with each other. How many of you just loved hearing each other laugh today? Yeah. On those really tough days, those beat the bus days, you all know what a beat the bus day is, isn't it? It's where I'm going to be in my car pulled out before the first bus leaves. And you do that teacher walk, can't talk about things to do, can't talk about. Do me a favor, walk up to a kid you really, really like, look them in the eye and just do this. Woo! And slowly turn around and walk away. We have 10 books of the optimism that are being given away. They are somewhere under the chairs or near the chairs or somewhere in your, it's a ticket, and the ticket says, you owe Jack Burkmeyer $100. Is that what it says? It says you're a winner chicken dinner. If you have one of those, make sure you come down afterwards. I want to wish every single one of you a great school year. I wish you joy. I wish you optimism. God bless. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
If I saw it, I'm sure I would know what I was saying. Well, let's wait.
So I will say, I did have a moment when I was listening to Jack talk of do I touch the podium or not, and was he going to spit all over where I was going to be standing. So I'm glad you were up here until this very last moment. How about one more round of applause for Jack? So I want to thank all of you. Our program this morning is coming to an end. Just a couple quick housekeeping items. I need all of you to leave through the front door. Where the buses dropped you off will be where you meet your buses back to school. But I want to do one quick thing. As I listened to Jack talk this morning, it brought me back. 2014, that was the year I entered this district. We were in this building. We were oriented over there, and I remember sitting with my new Southside team thinking, holy smokes, there's a lot of people. I reflected this morning as Jack spoke. I know in my heart, I know in my core. That day, 2014, was a day I figured out where I belonged. I want to thank all of you, the crew at Southside who brought me into this district, all of you who supported as I shifted jobs. I appreciate all of you. I know we are stronger together. I know that this year is going to be amazing. I believe in you, and I want each of you to believe in the power of us. And with that, have a wonderful day and have an amazing school year. Good luck.